Rotus Odiri, Arise News business correspondent, joins us live from Davos. Hello, Rotus. Great to have you. Put a compound annual growth rate into perspective for us, for those who don't understand that. And how impressive is the return to Tesla shareholders? 43% ahead?
Good evening, Ngozi, good evening, all our viewers, good evening to you. That's heavy. I mean, that's basically a compound annual growth rate of, if you spread it out from, he took Tesla public in 2010, right? So you take that up onto 25, that's almost 43% a year. I mean, it's crazy. S&P 500, which is an index in the US, usually does about, 8 to 10%, although, I mean, it's done about 20 in the last couple of years. And I guess just there's a formula for it. But basically, if you put $1,000 in Tesla when it went public in 2010, by now you'd have over $300,000. So that's a lot of money. So, but again, you have to look at how is Tesla a vehicle company? Is it a tech company? There's been a lot of excitement, particularly after Trump won this second term. So some of the spikes in the share price may be a little bit out of the fundamentals, when you consider that Tesla doesn't make as many vehicles as like Toyota or something. But still, be that as it may, a 43% compound growth rates for shareholders is a massive amount of money. So if you're a long-term investor in Tesla since 2010, you are smiling to the bank.
In fact, not just smiling to the bank, laughing to the bank. Rotus, I mean, how lucky can you be being in the same room with Elon Musk and Larry Fink? You're learning how to become a billionaire. Can't wait. But really, what should resonate in Larry Fink's message about investing?
BlackRock, Ngozi, is the largest asset manager in the world. I think as of the end of 2025 or so, they had about $11 trillion in assets. I mean, some estimates are about 12 to 14, but think about that. That's just one asset manager. Right, so when Larry Fink speaks, people listen. And even you heard him in that clip saying that the compound annual growth rate for BlackRock, they've done only about 20%. So Elon Musk has even doubled what he did. But the message that should resonate there is not just for those people that were in the room. It's to everyone. We preach it almost every day on the Global Business Report. Everyone should invest, right? This is January. It's the beginning of the year. You should look at diversifying your portfolio, putting it into stocks, bonds, treasury bills. Talk to a financial advisor, right? Just go to your bank, talk to your account manager, tell them to link you up with a financial advisor. They'll assess your risk tolerance. So it was really great to hear one of the most successful investors in the world sitting down with the richest man in the world, as you mentioned, Ngozi, to be in that kind of room and to just have him talk about, basic investment principles that folks talk about. This stuff, I mean, it sounds, it's only until the end of the year. Look at what the Nigerian Stock Exchange did last year. It was about 50-something%. So, his message should resonate not just with those people in the room. It should be around the world. Start early. Save, invest, and over time, if you are patient, long-term investors are usually always rewarded.
Rotus, the billionaire designate. I mean, Elon Musk said in that chat that he wants to expand human consciousness beyond Earth, but isn't he really already doing that with traveling to space?
Right, that's correct, Adesua. So with SpaceX, but SpaceX has a really big contract with NASA, which is a government agency, and so they take astronauts to space, they carry payloads to the ISS, the International Space Station. But what Musk wants to do, he said he wants his companies to further the expansion of humanity. He wants to go to Mars, right? He's been saying this thing for quite a while. And he just basically says he wants to improve human consciousness to where we as humanity are He's not sure if there's life on other planets or whatever, but he basically just, between SpaceX, and all these other companies, basically just wants to expand civilization beyond Earth. So it sounds a little science fiction for now, but I mean, with the things that you're seeing with technology nowadays, who knows, right? And the man is a pure technologist, and we'll say he's not the only one trying to do it. There's some other smaller players there. But there's a space race. I mean, look at Jeff Bezos of Amazon, who also owns the Washington Post. He's got Blue Origin, which is his own space program. So it seems like a billionaire thing right now, but over time, who knows? Who knows? Who knows if there's other life on other planets?
No, now, Rotus, earlier today, Trump had that signing of ceremony for his Board of Peace, but of course there's been some pushback or resistance, if you like. Why exactly is that being resisted?
Yeah, Ngozi, this Board of Peace started out as the second phase of a rehabilitation program for Gaza. This was a Gaza thing. It was, approved and stamped by the United Nations. I mean, this was supposed to be like this, was a 10 to 20 point plan to demilitarize actions in Gaza, rebuild, reduce tensions between Israel and Gaza, and that was what it was supposed to be. But then the charter came out, and even I went through a bit of it. I didn't go through the entire thing, but others have looked at it, and it's transformed into something else. Now this Board of Peace is supposed to be ending conflicts around the world. And Trump even made a comment saying that it's supposed to replace the United Nations. I mean, think about this. Think about this coming from a person who orchestrated a military operation that killed Cubans in Venezuela in an effort to extract Nicolas Maduro and take him to a prison in Brooklyn, in New York. Someone who has, threatened military action on Iran, had some strikes earlier on, and has called for peace. And then also, if you read the charter, Trump is apparently supposed to be the chair of the board for life. This is beyond his term of the presidency. And then his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, is also a member of the executive board. Steve Witkoff, who is his special envoy that's been negotiating with Russia and Ukraine, he's there. So he's basically just set up this board, put his cabinet members there, and then for countries that want to join in, you pay like $1 billion or something. It's just so... So that's why if the countries, you didn't see any major Western nations that were there. The kind of countries that signed up were UAE, Saudi Arabia, more Middle East, I think Hungary, Turkey, and all these other types of countries. So yeah, that's why there's been some pushback, at least some other Western nations.
Interesting. Yeah. With Trump, it's all this controversy. Well, before we let you go very quickly, Rotus, what's on the menu for the final day of Davos tomorrow?
The final day is I'm going home to warm Nigeria and getting out of this freezing place. But I've enjoyed my time here. It's been great. Christine Lagarde, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala are going to be involved in a macroeconomic outlook for 2026. There's also going to be a global, they've already released this report, and we talked to one of the authors on the Global Business Report earlier in the week, but the Global Risk Report, they're going to look at that for 2026. The World Economic Forum has released a lot of really great reports. There's also a discussion on the fourth estate. The media, us, what we do, Ngozi, Adeswa, everybody at the team on Arise News, what we do here. So macroeconomic outlook, global risks, media, and a number of other talks. So it should be an interesting day, last day to wrap up Davos 2026.
Rotus, I'm sure you can't wait to eat some good Nigerian food. Jollof rice, edika ekong, afang. Have your pick.
Although the Nigerian house is here, I should put, because the Nigerian house is here, they're serving that here, but I want to eat it at home. You're right. I want to eat it at home.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us. Rotus, Odiri, great job. The team there with Roller Care and, of course, Aneze
and Bolaji.
The whole team. Thank you so much for great coverage there at Davos.